Back in Dalton, Georgia for the Vicari Collector Car Auction, a part of the Moonshine Cruise-In, a great car show outside, an even better car show inside. Take a look right here at this beautiful 1938 pickup truck. Look at the paint on that baby.
Yeah, that thing is beautiful. And this is the first year that the Ford truck was updated since 1935, so folks really love this 1938. Original price, by the way, back in 38, Ted, $590.
Oh yeah, what a bargain. Watch what it does today. We're already at $25,000 and we haven't hit the reserve. There's the famous Ford flathead V8. We'll see a Chevy coming up in a little bit. All they had to offer was an inline six-cylinder, so the Ford was considered superior with the V8, even though it was just a flathead. When these trucks are restored to perfection, as this one is, they bring absolutely incredible money at $33,000, and the reserve is still on, Dave.
Now that is the minimum that the buyer will take for the vehicle. So they've set a price. Nobody quite knows the reserve until you start bidding, and the reserve is still on this particular vehicle.
Need a driver.
We got one. Simmer down, simmer down.
And many times they have a guy called the Grinder. He works with the owner of that, trying to tell them maybe you need to lower that reserve just a little bit.
Now they're going to see how much it takes to buy this thing.
God bless America.
The reserve is off.
And there we go. This truck is going to sell.
Yes, he just lifted it. That means he knows he's going to get at least $33,000. I can tell you, when you lift the reserve, a lot of times bidders will jump back in and bid. They want to know that if they bid, they're going to get the vehicle bought.
Bam, sold it, $33,000, number 6 buys. And he hurt my...
The new owner is David Williams, who comes to a lot of Vicari auctions and buys a lot of cars.
1938 Ford just sold, and Wayne Chapman, he's the actual seller of it, man. I think you're going to be a little heartbroken, Wayne.
Just a little bit, that's for sure. I expected a little more, but it's time to go.
But you took the reserve off. What made you decide to do that?
Well, it was a last-minute decision, and we've had a couple here, so it was time for it to go.
Yeah, that's good. I think it was a good decision. You're getting a phenomenal truck, and you made a good deal.
I don't know if I made a good deal, but he made a good deal for sure.
Next up, a beautiful 1964 Pontiac Bonneville. Now, what made the Bonneville so famous? Well, first it was named after the famous Salt Flats racing out there, but more than that, this one's a convertible. Remember, when the top goes down, the price goes up. Beautiful blue paint, and there you see the 400 cubic inch Pontiac engine. Looks the same as the 389, and that's really what made these so famous, because the 389 was later dropped into the GTO.
You could get the Pontiac Star Chief as a four-door sedan or a hardtop, but if you wanted a convertible, you had to go to the Bonneville, Ted.
You know, if this were a year younger, in 1963, they actually dropped an engine in these called a Super Duty 421. Very famous. They drag race those a lot.
You see the stacked headlights there, Ted? That was something that came along in 1963 as well with the Bonneville. And every vehicle followed except for the Pontiac Tempest. It kept the side-by-side headlight look.
This is the third generation of the Pontiac Bonneville, by the way. The rating, 303 horsepower on that motor.
31, I have. I'm working on it, sir. Get on with it, he says. Shazam, sold it, $30,000. Tennessee buys. What's the number?
Up next, lot number 517.
All right, 1951 Chevrolet. You know, we told you a minute ago the inline sixes. This is an example of it. The Ford had the V8. All the Chevrolets were inline sixes until, believe this or not, 1955. And yet, this car will be very popular. Now, it won't bring quite the big money that some of the Fords will, but still very popular. Once again, the top goes down, Dave.
Got it. You mentioned that inline six, 216 cubic inches on this one, 90 horsepower. Not too shabby for back in those days.
No, it's about the same as the Ford Flathead V8, and yet for some reason, those Flathead V8s were very popular. A lot of drag racers started racing Ford Flathead V8s, including Big Daddy Don Garlits.
Folks love the styling of these because 1941 was the first time the Deluxe was offered, and it was the first time these cars didn't share a platform or a look with the trucks.
Yes, sir. 95. Got it. Now 750.
Ted Verding having a little fun with the ringman there. Oh, he's trying to bid in $250 increments. Usually these auctions go 500 or 1,000, so they're having some fun with them.
Well, the auctioneer usually determines what bid increment he wants, and you kind of got to get him to agree to go with the increment that you want.
10,250, gotta go. 10,250. Anybody else? 10,250.
This is the Internet Monitor watching. The bidder on the Internet right now has it at $10,000, and he's going to buy it at $10,000.
That's the beauty of the Vicari auctions. You can bid online live as it's going on, Tim.
And that car is going to California. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll meet a very famous lady. Coming up next